Hello there, Hidden Hermit. How you doing? Good evening, good afternoon, happy Christmas, however the world is treating you when you are watching this. Today is in fact Monday, so happy Monday. It's Monday the 26th of November. The sun is in Sagittarius. The moon is in Cancer, if you follow the tropical astrological system, which most people in the West do. So yeah, we're doing a random reading today, the first random reading of a Sagittarius season. We've been in Sagittarius for nearly a week now, so I've kind of dropped the ball a little bit. I'm sorry. But yeah, here we go. We're just going to do a random reading. If you're new to these videos, I randomly cast my magic astrological dice. A bit of a disclaimer, I don't know if they are actually magic, but there's certainly some magic going on somewhere. And we find out who this well, you know, it's almost a general reading, but we'll get to that. So let's first find out who this reading is for. Well, that's nice and simple. So sun in Scorpio, moon in Virgo. So you've just had a birthday, Scorpio, so I hope you had a good one. I hope you got everything you wanted and you got out a bit, because I do think that you Scorpios need to get out more. Not all of you, clearly. That's a bit mean. But yeah, you've recently had a birthday. You've recently experienced a solar return, as they say. And so, yeah, happy birthday. And a Virgo moon. So, you know, from your day-to-day life is, well, you try and be as organised as possible. It's interesting how the watery vibe of Scorpio mixed with that earthy vibe. I always think water and earth makes mud, but again, well, that's the second thing I've said that's almost offensive. I don't mean to offend anybody, but so yeah, this is for a muddy seeker out there. I'm of course joking. So anyway, yeah, today I'm using Equinox, my top deck, and he is going to help us with regard to whatever situation you are facing at the moment. And of course, I don't know you. I've never met you, or maybe I have, but I don't know it. I have no context whatsoever about the situation. We're not posing a question to the deck today. We're just trying to hopefully give you some insight. Perhaps, maybe, definitely, sort of. So let's just do this, shall we? My deck has been shuffled and cleaned off camera. I'm just giving it a wee bit of more of a shuffle, so you know that this isn't scripted, because I don't do scripted. All my videos are rather shambolic, let's say. So anyway, yes, this reading is for you, Scorpio, with your moon in Virgo. I think I've demonstrated that these cards are shuffled. Just give them a little bit of a left hand cut, as it were, and let's get down to it. So I do my random reading is a 5-card spread, which I came up with just for this purpose, and the spread is as follows. Up here we have what is going on in your heart and mind at the moment, Scorpio. Then we've got a potential situation that you might currently be facing. Down here we have the this is you know, a kind of a past, present, future spread. These are energies leading up to this current situation. Here are some energies surrounding the situation at the moment. These two cards are intrinsically linked. They kind of talk to each other, or talk to us indeed. And down here we have a potential outcome, or energies surrounding a potential outcome if you choose not to change anything. So Scorpio, with your Virgo moon, and it's the interesting thing about these signs, your glyphs are very, very similar. It's like you've got a wagging tail almost. That's not important in any way, but it's just something that I quite like. Anyway, Scorpio, what is going on in your heart and mind at the moment? And this could be conscious or subconscious. You may know this, you may not, but you are feeling a little bit of the universe going on. So I don't know, have you recently had quite a vast change of perspective? Are you coming from a place, you know, you've had your birthday recently, maybe you're thinking quite fresh at the moment, maybe you're thinking that there's a new year ahead, and you're feeling, I know that, I mean, this is called the Aeon in the top deck. It's the universe in the Waite Smith deck, and quite a lot of the time it it tells you about a completion of something. So maybe you've completed something recently, and you're basking in whether it was you know, a success or a failure. I don't know. Maybe you're taking stock of that situation. Maybe the perspective that you have recently gained is because you have completed something. And indeed, it may just be because you've experienced your solar return. You're a year older, and well, I would hope you're looking forward. Although you Scorpios, you do like to look inward, do you not? Interesting. So and again, Saturn is the ruler of the universe, or the Aeon card. So I don't think that means anything at that point. Never mind. So, a situation you may very well be facing at the moment, Scorpio, is the Prince of Swords. Okay, so this is where the court cards between the Waite-Smith system and the Tot system become kind of blended, especially when you come to the princes and the knights. The Prince of Swords is more like the king, really, in the Waite-Smith system, if you read a particular book. However, I kind of get the feeling here that the situation that you're required at the moment is requiring a lot of thought. It's requiring a lot of thought, reason, and logic. And you may even be experiencing your brain being quite taxed at the moment. And you need to be coming from quite a mature place as well. You need to be coming from a place of authority. This isn't a time to be dilly-dallying, perhaps, or maybe prostrating yourself to other people's opinions. You need to do the thinking for yourself. People may even be looking to you for your logical and reasonable judgment, and I appreciate that this is both contradictory to not only your watery sun nature, you know, your purpose, if you like, the direction that you should be going into, but also your earthy day-to-day nature, which is informed by your moon. So yeah, this may indeed be making you feel not necessarily uncomfortable, but it's asking you to step outside of your natural inclination, if you want. Now, if you have an air sign rising, if you are a Scorpio Sun and a Virgo Moon, and you've got an air sign rising, this could very well be a situation that you're very comfortable in. And I did stop doing risings or ascendants in these random readings because there's just too many dice flying around. Anyway, so energies coming up to this, a situation which is requiring you to use your head a little bit, use your noggin, is, oh, look at this, it's the Five of Swords. So what does this tell us? This completion, this cycle that has come to an end, and there's a previous vibe of, well, you know, the Five of Swords in the top deck is called defeat. The Five of Swords it informs of Venus in Aquarius. Yes, it's Venus in Aquarius, and there's been a little bit of flux recently. So this is interesting. So it's very easy to put a very positive bent when you get the Universal, the Aeon card, but maybe this completion that you have recently experienced was, you know, not necessarily traumatic, but a little bit disappointing. Maybe you're feeling a little bit of loss, maybe a bit of sadness. It's not a happy card. But what we do have, what is interesting, is we got some airy influences come up. Maybe you've come to a realization that perhaps something didn't work out as well as you wanted it to, and the completion is something that, you know, you're having to think about, perhaps. These two cards are very much linked. This is energies surrounding the situation at the moment, and we have the Queen of Wands. Okay, so this is quite comforting, actually. So I'm a big fan of the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is a very fiery, a very passionate, also very kind and generous feminine energy. It doesn't necessarily mean that we're dealing with a female at this point. It could. In the Romany traditions, the court cards did inform us of people, but I'm kind of thinking that this is an interesting marrying of energies here, haven't we? We've got a very mature, thinking, intellectual kind of vibe with a passionate and willful vibe. Now, the Queen of Wands, one of her greatest strengths is if you try and cross her, she becomes incredibly fierce. She's the sort of woman that you want to have in your corner if things start to go a bit south, to be perfectly honest. I'm a big fan because the Queen of Wands is very much linked to my sun sign, but that's by the by. We're talking about you, Scorpio. And yeah, so the Queen of Wands is... I think it's asking you for a bit of steady force at the moment, a little bit of just maintain that will, maintain that desire to this situation that's you know, proven to be quite. Yeah, I imagine you're being drained from this. I don't know. I mean, this is quite important, this energy coming up to it. I think this is quite positive so far, you know. You've come round this corner, and you Scorpios, you do like to look inward, and you do like to reevaluate situations for what you are. So perhaps your mind is actually overruling your emotions, and we're being asked to tap into a little bit of desire and will to bring us out of this perhaps ill-dignified cycle, perhaps. The energy surrounding a possible outcome, if you decide not to change anything, or indeed a possible outcome as is. Oh, look at that. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Sometimes the one card can put a real downer on a spread, but we've got the Three of Cups. We've got the Three of Cups, and this really is going to sing to your emotive, sensitive, your feeling nature, Scorpio, and yeah. So if we were to contextually look at this from a big picture kind of perspective, you've come from somewhere that's been a little bit disappointing, and you're feeling a little bit beaten. But in contrary to your Scorpio nature of internalizing these things, perhaps you're tapping into a little bit more of a grounded, earthy nature, and you're just reorganizing your heart and your mind and your will and your intellect to get past this. And that seems like a good idea for you, Scorpio. It seems like a very good idea to you, because you're going to lead to a place where you're going to be feeling much, much better. I mean, the Three of Cups is in many ways the party card, if you like. And I believe it's Mercury in Cancer as well. So the moon is currently in Cancer. So maybe this moon phase is going to, you know, really put a bookend onto this situation that you're coming from. Now, I've mentioned this before, but I have no clue about your situation, no context whatsoever. Only you do. So hopefully this is going to make some sense to you. If your sun is in Scorpio and your moon is in Virgo, things are going to turn out great. What more can I say? So anyway, in the meantime, thank you very much for watching. I am the Hidden Hermit, and I will catch you next time. Cheers.